Hi guys, and welcome to another video. And this video is article search, but it's not just one dog, it's two dogs, but obviously two dogs that are very different stages of sort of article search or learning to sort of find stuff. And obviously I've got Coop, who's my GP dog, that we've obviously gone through doing article search, and he's pretty good at it. I would back him on most or to find most stuff. I'm not going to say he's perfect and he will find it every single time, but I back him to find most stuff. And then I've got Ollie, my, what is he, 6, 7, nearly 8-month-old, probably 7-month-old Cocker Spaniel, who hopefully I'm going to go into sort of drugs. And now it's just sort of like learning commands. So what I'll do now is I'll put through the video of Coop. So with this, I'll go and put 5 objects out and I'll make one tricky. So I'll put 4 objects out in the clear, and then I'll put 1 object in the bush. The idea of this is he goes down, lays down, notifies on it, and then we go round, and then hopefully he will find the one in the bush as well. This is Cooper. I'll fuck that up. So as you can see with Coop, he is pretty experienced in doing this. He understands what we're doing. And as long as I set it up the right way in terms of setting him up the right way, he understands what we're doing. Now, obviously, you see I had the ball. That is his drive in order to go and find the objects. And you can see with that, that when he finds the object, he expects the ball. Now, what I did when I first started doing this was every time he would find an object, I'd give him the ball. But what actually started to happen was that if I rewarded him after every time he found something, he would be too hyper in order and then not concentrate on finding the next one. So now what I do is I go around, and then when we find the last one, that's when he'll get the ball and we'll play tug. Because otherwise what happens is he finds the first one, I'll give him the ball, we play a bit of tug, and then the next time I say find, he's like, no, give me the ball, I want to play ball. So what we do now is that he, although he still wants the ball, I make him find all of the objects before I say, okay, that's good. And if, let's say it's a real world situation, what I'll do is I'll send him out to go and find objects, if there are objects out there. And then once I'm happy that we've cleared the whole area that we planned on clearing, that's when I would give him the ball. So I've kind of had to adapt it a little bit. But as you can see with that, he's pretty good. Like he has the drive to go, bang, there's one there. I'll say fine, he goes bang, there's the next one there. And that's that's a dog that's pretty experienced. Now obviously there was the one in the bush, and all the ones that were out in the open, it was quite easy. I said find, he goes bang, there it is, find, bang, there it is. But the one in the bush, I had to just say to him, look, search over here. And as you can see, as soon as he walked towards the bush, you can see all of a sudden he's like, oh, there's something here. And then you see him stick his nose in, and then he lays down next to the bush. That's him telling me there's something in this bush. Now, what I did as a double check just to make sure he wasn't just bluffing, because sometimes what he will do is he will lay down with nothing there, waiting for me to give him the ball, and then I'll say, well, there's nothing there, carry on, and then we go and find. So what I did was double check, is that I spun him around and I said, show me. And then the second time you see him go in, and he puts his paws in the bush where the object is and then lays down next to it. That's him saying, there it is, right, give me the ball, I want the ball. And then because I know that's the last one, I'll say, all right, here's the ball, and then we have a bit of play and a bit of tug afterwards. So he's a dog that is experienced and confident in doing this. Like I say, I back him to find most stuff. In terms of bushes and different things like that, if like an area like this, if I wanted specifically for him to look or sniff around that bush, I would point at the bush and say check, or find, or whatever. I would probably check, and then he would sniff around that bush, and then he would either look at me and say nothing there, or like he did with that one, he'll go, oh, there's something there, lay down, there's something in that bush. And now we have Ollie. So Ollie is very new to this. I'm just sort of learning commands with him, having a bit of fun learning commands. None of this is sort of proper training. I'm just putting in commands. Now, the command I want to put in is find it. So so that is my command to him, to set him off to go and find something. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get him familiar with an object, and then for me to be able to sit him down and then ask him to go and find it, and then he goes in and finds it. And the object I decided to do was the wallet. So the idea of this is I'll just throw the wallet out in front of me, and then I'd say find, and let him run up to it, make a big fuss of when he goes up to the wallet. Do that a few times, and then after that, because he'd become quite familiar with it, I thought, you know what, I'll throw it in the bush and we'll see what happens. And in the video, you will see what happens. So here's Ollie learning the find it command. I will fast forward through a lot of it because there's like an 11-minute video, so I will condense that down because a lot of it's quite samey. But you'll see in it, what I do is I'll sit him down and I'll say find it, and then we'll see what happens. So here's Ollie. And as you will see with Ollie there, Ollie is a very different type of dog to Coop. You can see that he's a little bit more frantic. Yes, he is a puppy, but you can see he's a little bit more frantic, and he's not really ball driven. I've tried to get ball drive into him, but he's not got that ball drive. But what he has got is that he just enjoys going and finding stuff. He enjoys that side of it. It doesn't look like he needs a reward for him to go and do stuff. Now, what you will see in that is a couple of times he got a bit preoccupied. One time he went in the bush, come out with a stick. One time he went in the bush and come out with a vape that I didn't even know was in there. But in there finding a vape, I'll take that as a win. He found something with human scent on it, or in this case, I believe that vape would have had sort of nicotine, so obviously low level drug smell, but he come out with an object. He didn't just go in there and then come back out with nothing. So you can see with that, although I've tried to build ball drive into him, his actual reward is actually going and doing it. Now, I will obviously try and build some kind of reward for him at some point, but at the moment when I'm offering the ball as a reward for it, he's like, no, I don't want to do that. But the moment I throw and ask him to go and find it again, he's like, yep, that's me. In he goes. And then he goes in, fumbles around a little bit. And then, like I say, I reckon with a 80% success rate, he come out with the wallet. He come out with a stick once, he come out with a vape another time. But with a like a 85% success rate, he come out with the object that I have made him aware of and got him to come out with. So I actually think that I will put that down as a bit of a win. And like I say, a lot of this was just me teaching him to find it. So it was the restricting of the, when I threw the wallet, it was the restricting of, right, this is how we're going to set up. So every time we do this, I'm going to have you sit in here, and then when I say find it, that's your cue to go and do it. What I didn't want is every time I throw something, he goes running off. I wanted to start put in a procedure of, right, this is how we do it. I'm going to put you here, I'm going to have you sit in, and then I'm going to say find it, and that is your cue. And that is the command I've tried to put in. I've tried to put in a process, and I've tried to put in sort of a routine of how we're going to do it. You see me with Coop, I always get Coop on my left hand side, and then I'll say find it, and that's how we'll do it. So I've tried to keep it very similar with both dogs, so I don't have to think which dog I'm using, which way do I say it. I've tried to do it very similar. And with Ollie, all of that was about getting him familiar with an object, and then just setting in the process of, right, this is what we do. We sit here, and then I say find it, and that is your cue to go in. And then obviously now, because he's finding the object that I've asked him to, make a big fuss, make him excited about doing it. And as you can see, he's not ball driven, but he still has drive to go and find stuff. So I'll take that as a bit of a win. If you've got any comments on this video, make sure I put them down below. If you like the channel, make sure you subscribe. And down in the description as well, there's Patreon. If you enjoy what I do and want to help support me from £3 a month, you can see all the videos. As for now, I'll see you again in the next video. Just watching. See you later.